there's a microphone right there to catch the last gurgles, and Technicolor to photograph the red swollen tongue.
Hey, Vern.
Future events such as these
Anglin
will affect you in the future.
Damn you, Rabbit! You smell like fucking piss!
You're watching The Projectors.
Hell yeah!
A film fan program discussing a variety of movies from history and around the world.
What do you think of this boner I got?
Featuring your hosts, Bob Sham.
When you're Scandinavian, flopping out your mommy milkers is nothing.
And Angela.
If they were just gun perverts, this would be fine.
Party!
Thank you for selecting The Projectors.
I want French pancakes like at IHOP.
And now a preview of our film discussion.
It was a name that sounded so sweet, so seductive. Synonymous with worth, style, power. But their name was a curse too.
I've been a Gucci all my life.
Your name is in the history books.
Paolo, you are Gucci, you need to dress the part.
It's chic.
Gucci needs new blood. It's time to take out the trash.
They're my family.
So am I.
You picked a real firecracker.
She's a handful.
Bravo. I don't consider myself to be a particularly ethical person, but I am fair.
Can you keep a secret?
Father, son, and house of Gucci.
The sicko sessions continue. Angela can't really talk very well. She has laryngitis. We're over the virus. She's just got the jitis. I should have been a preacher. I guess I still can be.
You have such a good voice.
I do feel like I need to be doing more with the voice, huh? Maybe a little more than just talking about movies. Maybe this voice needs to be publicly berating people, I think. Really just going at people.
I'm shaking my head, yes.
And be so good at it that they fucking kill me.
No,
you know?
Not that part.
Well, would it be worth it to go down in infamy if it costs my life? I don't mean to sound morbid.
No, I know what you mean.
But I will die eventually. Do I die in safety or do I die in infamy? Obscure safety or notorious infamy? It might affect you too. That's really my only pause. Should I be a revolutionary, folks? You weigh in. This show is, we're revolutionizing talking about movies, right? And for our last week of 5 directors, we're analyzing the last. That's the kind of comedy you get with this show.
So good.
We're discussing the last 4 Ridley Scott movies. We're seeing what that very prolific, very genre trend-setting director's been up to lately. He's going back in time a lot of the time. But today we discuss a movie called House of Gucci from 2021, directed by him, written by Becky Johnson, Roberto Bentavegna, and Sarah Gay Forden, based on a book by her, starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Jared Leto, Jeremy Irons, Al Pacino, and a small role by Selma Hayek, who remains forever young. Oh, yes. Cinematography by Darius Walski. You'll see that name more before the end of the week. This one cost $75 million, but kids love their fashion, so it made $153 million. It seemed like there was a lot of marketing. I remember when this movie was coming out. Unlike The Last Duel, it seemed like there was some traction with this movie in terms of marketing. But House of Gucci is, I don't know much about the history of fashion or the Guccis, and I had no idea I was watching a true crime movie.
Me neither.
Didn't the Versace guy get fucking killed too by like a twink or something?
I think there's something there.
Yeah. We need to be paying more attention to these people. I'm used to just looking at them and just imagining their heads getting cut off, but it's like, wow, they're like killing each other. I will say that Lady Gaga kind of looking pretty dime piece in this movie, I gotta say. What is it with these Italian women? You really want to round the bases with them quick before they start saying the racist stuff, because it's going to be over at that point. But yeah, these Italians, man, like, you get why you want to get it in, right? You just got to get it in quick before the racism. And this also stars Adam Driver as Maurizio Gucci.
He is so adorable in the beginning of this movie.
He seems like the only person in a certain level that is trying to play like a real person.
He's not a caricature.
Yes.
Yes.
I think he does kind of become a caricature more at the end. I mean,
but it's on purpose.
Sure. So, but there was something he wasn't trying to go too over, whereas everyone else is a bit like a cartoon. Even Lady Gaga, who is fun to watch in this movie. There is a funness to this movie. I can't deny that.
I had a good time watching it.
But the funniest role in this movie is the role of Paolo Gucci, as played by Jared Leto. So you got to wonder, how much did they pay him, and how much time did he spend in the makeup chair
and why
to look like Jeffrey Tambor?
Boof.
Now Jeffrey Tambor is not young, but so you'd be like, well, they're not going to cast Jeffrey Tambor. He got canceled. We're talking about Jared Leto. Doesn't he have like a groomer cult based around his mediocre rock band? Like, anyone who watches this movie is like, Jared Leto is such a good actor. I truly believe that 3/4 of all of Hollywood, women included, could have played that fucking role.
Yeah.
I really do.
He's also completely unrecognizable as himself, so that's the other thing. You could put that makeup on anybody.
Yeah, Gary Oldman had done this shit for his whole career, like, probably in a more entertaining way.
Yeah, this is a case again of like, the character's fine. Nobody in the movie likes the guy, so you're not really supposed to like him or anything.
It seemed, I don't know much about
the little comic relief.
I don't know much about the fashion sense, but like when he's walking around trying to port his styles, I had this expectation that his styles and looks were going to take off within the company somehow, because the way he looks does look when I'm trying to conceive of Gucci fashion, there's that level of gaudiness that he calls chic in here that does seem like Gucci kind of thing. So I had this expectation that his ideas were somehow going to break through within the company, but the movie's just about how family that used to be broke and make saddlebags would go on to become very successful and then lose their actual name. Well, the name would stay, but the actual family would then be completely cut out of the company. Gucci.
Lady Gaga meets Maurizio Gucci at a party. And as soon as she hears his last name, she's set. She stalks him to have a meeting. She tells him to ask her on a date. He does fall for her to the point where he leaves his dad, Jeremy Irons, to go work at her dad's truck.
Now, his dad, the Signor Gucci, one half of the owners, along with his uncle, her father owns like a fleet of trucks, a very successful business, but it's not good enough for him. He says that she's just trying to grab the money, trying to get in, trying to get her claws in on this business and make her name through that. He's not wrong.
Mm-mm.
He really isn't. And I think she really did love Maurizio. I mean, based on what's displayed in the movie, but her father who's a prick and you don't care for him, or his father who's a prick, you don't care for him. He is kind of proven right in the long run.
He really is. Because Maurizio doesn't want to even be involved. One of like the hottest moment in this movie, when he's working at her dad's truck place and she calls him over like, Maurizio Gucci, you need to report to accounting. He fucks her on that desk when he's like holding her dress, going down on her. Sorry, that was like the hottest fucking shit.
Yeah.
ever.
Mauricio's this character who comes from money, which you find out that the Guccis are already the Guccis, you know what I'm saying? And so he's playing this character that's like pretending to sacrifice it all when he just gets it all in the end anyway. So he's just kind of presenting like, oh, I'm above money, which is very easy when you have money to be above it. It all comes back around through his uncle, but he does manage to manipulate his uncle out of it.
Well, the movie posits that he didn't want any part of it. He told Patrizia, right, that he was the happiest he'd ever been not working with the family. She's the one who pushed him and pushed him and pushed him until he became one of them.
As far as fakes go, they're pretty good. I mean, I'd buy them.
Don't be such a cretin.
Don't call me a cretin, sweetie.
That's not what I said. I asked you not to be one. This is serious. And you're laughing it off.
At least it's my name on the mugs, not yours.
Our name, sweetie.
He was just trying to be a lawyer.
He just wanted to be a lawyer.
A lowly, simple lawyer.
No, I mean, he would have kept with the money, but he didn't want to be part of the fashion business.
Well, it wouldn't have been Gucci money, for sure. I mean, these were super high estate people here. But yes, not to get all too into the weeds of the details, but the senior Guccis who split the company, they weren't very good with their accounts. They spent more than they truly made. They managed to sell half of it to this very wealthy Iraqi guy, managed to force the other half out through, corruptions and people kept getting arrested. So it just became easy. By the end, the Gucci, there's no actual original Gucci involved in the Gucci brand. But one thing that is strange, and the movie does not really, I guess their connection maybe is that they're blue bloods, right? But Adam Driver ends up having this affair with this Scandinavian woman that they meet in Switzerland.
He knew her when they were young because she comes up to him and knows who he is. And they're like, oh my God, you look so great.
In terms of just going on looks alone, you got this hottie dime piece Italian lady looking fly in tracksuits, and you're going to go for the Scandinavian horsewoman? Look, I'm sorry to body shame. We're not in perfect condition either. We're beautiful, but we're very beautiful on the inside. Really hot on the inside. My spleen, I put my spleen next to any fucking rich person's spleen. All right? It doesn't really convey why he's into this lady and why it's worth breaking up this marriage. I mean, ultimately, everyone just becomes the shallow people that they're pretending not to be at the beginning of the movie, right?
Right. He completely becomes a Gucci. At one point, she says, I married a monster. And he's like, no, you married a Gucci. She made him what she wanted him to be, and then he didn't want her anymore. He also, though, did everything she told him to do. He tried to act like she was pushing him, but then she continued doing what she said.
But her advice was sound, and she was telling him not to. Don't trust the family lawyer, and he realizes when it's too late how right she was.
Yeah, she was right about everything, but she did push him.
Do you want to be left in the dust? You want to keep selling coffee mugs in airports? Is that your legacy? It's time to take out the trash. Aldo and Paolo, they're poison. They're an embarrassment to this company, and everybody knows it.
Okay, he said he fell out of love with her before that. I think this girl was just something different. There weren't these strings of a child and a wife who's crying all the time and, manipulating.
Lady Gaga's character, Patrizia, she goes to a psychic, is played by Selma Hayek. And this is an example of how astrology and shit like that's going to get you in trouble, ladies, gay men. This is who I'm talking to.
This woman became her best friend.
I'm not talking to the straight men. They're pretending to care so they can have sex with you. I'm talking to the ladies and the gay men. Be careful with your astrology, your palm readings. Be careful. Tarot root is the only thing you need to be worried about. Don't worry about what the 9 of club or whatever the fuck that is. Yes, death is change. I get it. No one cares. I'm just saying this to protect you. I did not know that Tom Ford, I do know that name. That I did not know he was just some dude from Texas who came up through Gucci. I did learn some things in this movie. But we see Pina and Patrizia having their readings, and then they
escalate.
They're like, okay, let's kill my ex-husband. I don't even think they're divorced yet. Let's kill him.
No, she would never sign the papers. They also have this daughter who I guess is maybe like 11 then. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Maurizio is attempting to be forced out by the Iraqis with the help of their long family lawyer. And Paolo, he's way gone, right? You think my presumption of him having some actual fashionable effect on the Gucci brand did not appear to be anything. I mean, maybe the true story is different. I don't know.
Well,
but apparently he ends up dying and destitute.
Yeah, they set him up to have a show, but then sued him for using the name Gucci.
Did you know that, you know Jared Leto's method? Like, you know this guy's method. That he actually died in London for this role? With that fucking makeup on. Oh, I still got some of that funk too. That's what kind of actor he is. But yeah, they hire these dudes, the Italian version of Jeff Galooley, but getting the job done.
When they go to do the deal, Lady Gaga is like so butch. She's got like slicked back hair.
I actually love her.
It's the only time you see her in jeans.
I gotta admit, I love her in this movie.
I love her in this movie too.
She is wildly entertaining in this movie.
I'm just saying at that point, she and Pina might have been a little more than friends.
Oh, yeah. For sure. We'll go around with the Subaru Outbacks at that point. But, very nice with leather seats. So when Maurizio realizes he's getting forced out, he has this kind of flashback recollection of meeting Patrizia, knowing that she was actually pretty much right. And so it's like you get this feeling like maybe he's remembering why he loved her. But then he goes to his estate and he has to tie his shoe and he gets fucking capped. And we cut to like 2 years later and Patrizia is refusing to stand before the judge.
Signora Reggiani. Words don't come easily. Signora Reggiani. Like sorry. Signora Reggiani.
You can call me Signora Gucci.
Don't call me Reggiani.
Well, I knew this was going to happen because he's saying like Signora Reggiani. He says like 5 times.
She's
and then
still
finally
married.
She like looks up and she goes,
innocent until proven guilty.
You can call me Signora Gucci. And she looked like 10 years older all of a sudden. That was kind of weird, but all 4 of them went to prison.
This movie is full of lines that's like, all right.
Father, son, and House of Gucci.
I mean, I get it. I guess you're talking about this big flashy family, so there's got to be like these goofy lines that feel deeper, that pretend to be deeper than it really is to kind of help put up the facade. I can see that concept. There's one point where Paolo's talking about like,
never confuse shit with cioccolato. They may look the same, but the taste very different. Trust me, I know.
Is he talking about this fucking movie?
Oh, also, Lady Gaga was super fun in this, but sometimes she was not Italian. Sometimes she was Spanish. Just saying.
Dinora.
It was a very fuzzy line. There was a very fuzzy line there.
Oh, Sophia Loren was in this movie. I missed it. Madalena Diana Ganea.
What?
Very brief role. She dated our late great. No, that's Isabella Rossellini. Wait, Isabella Rossellini
was with David Lynch.
Yeah, she dated David Lynch. Apparently, Anna Wintour's in this shit. There actually were some real blue bloods up in this movie. So, in summation, I think there is something. If we're going to compare this movie to The Last Duel, I would have to admit that House of Gucci was probably a little more entertaining.
Yeah.
But maybe for like laughable reasons. The Last Duel story was probably a little more compelling to me. Though I was interested in the things I learned in House of Gucci, if they're accurate.
Yeah.
But the cartoony nature of it, while it did lend to some sense of entertaining and keeping me locked in, the movie felt just kind of ridiculous, like at least 50% of the time.
Comparing The Last Duel to House of Gucci is like comparing a masterpiece theater PBS movie to a soap opera. One is maybe
really
more
dry
of a
and
film
boring
and whatever, but the other one is so much more fun.
And the other one is more fun but ridiculous. But I think it ultimately balances out. And that's why I'm giving House of Gucci the same score. I do think it balances out ultimately. I truly can't say it's like a 3.5 for me. Maybe between a 3.25 and a 3.5. So I'll give it a 3.37.
No, just do 2.5 because I'm doing 0.5.
All right, so we get a 6.75 for House of Gucci. I actually might recommend this based on how we discuss it. I think you might know if you'd get something out of this movie. I think it's possible. There is something fun about it, but there's also like some stupidity, which also lends it to how fun it is. And there you go, folks. Father, Son, House of Gucci. House of Gucci by Ridley Scott 2021. Shares the rankings with The Force Awakens. Wow, we were really nice to that movie.
Yeah, we were.
The 6s remain the will be nice category.
I think after watching all the other Star Wars, Force Awakens seemed better than we remembered it being because we had such low expectations.
The Birds, which a lot of people say were pretty low on that.
I do really love that one.
The House That Jack Built, that seems high. The Howling, that seems right. That seems like the most accurate. The Howling at 6.75. The Disorderly Orderly, it shares the ranking with movies like that.
That's your favorite.
The rankings, don't get too lost in the sauce in the rankings, folks. All right. You said that Lady Gaga ad-libbed that Father, Son, House of Gucci line.
I didn't say that.
You didn't tell me that?
No.
I thought she just threw it out there.
I don't know.
I was going to call her a genius.
If she did, she's a genius.
But I'm
I didn't
backpedaling.
Because I didn't know that.
If she ad-libbed that line, then then the verdict is in. She's a genius. Who could have thought of that? Nobody. Wow, we're dealing with geniuses all the way down. Tomorrow, we discuss a movie strangely absent from a lot of specific award shows for 2024. The big, sweeping, historical epic Napoleon, starring Joaquin Phoenix. We're talking about that tomorrow. Watch us discuss a 2-hour, 40-minute movie in 20 minutes. Watch and marvel, okay? Napoleon is tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Thank you for watching The Projectors. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. We are available on YouTube and podcast. You can also support the show by liking, leaving comments, reviewing, sharing and never questioning Bob when he claims that certain characters in movies are like autism. We love you. Goodbye.
Boof. Oh, boof. 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 Boof.